everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I want to go over the do's and don'ts of styling pearls. These are some really helpful styling tips that you can keep in mind in order to work this really classic accessory into your wardrobe, but then do so in a way that still feels very current. I find that the key to cultivating a closet full of classic pieces is to really be mindful of ways that you can kind of change it up and keep it fresh and interesting, but also still lean into that classic feeling. So I'm going to go over some of those tips in today's video. And then also I'm working with Gingiberi on this video, so I will be styling their pearl pieces throughout. I will of course link them in the description box. And then also we're offering 15% off with my code. It's Audrey 15. And we're hosting a giveaway. I'm going to be giving away these really beautiful 3-in-1 earrings. You can wear them as the hoops, you can wear them as the hoops plus the pearls, and then you can also take the pearl off and wear it as a pendant. Really, really gorgeous and one of my favorite pieces. So to enter, all you have to do is comment in the comment section your favorite thing that's happened to you this year, kind of like the best thing, the highlight of your year so far, and then I will randomly select a winner. So let's get started. So I want to start things off with a do, and that is to keep it classic, especially when you're working with something like pearls that are so inherently classic and timeless. Going for a really, really simple silhouette is going to be a really safe place to start. That's going to ensure that you have a lot of flexibility in how you're styling them, but that also you can enjoy them for a long time because they won't feel trend specific and they won't ever feel dated. So my recommendation here is to consider a pair of pearl studs, and you can go for something a little bit larger like I'm wearing today, or you can go for something small. And definitely try to find something in proportion to you. So I tend to like statement earrings, so I like a slightly bigger pearl, especially the way that looks on its own. It kind of stands out enough where I feel like I can pair that with a really simple outfit and still end up with something really great. But if you want something really understated, go for a smaller pearl. That's going to give you a lot of flexibility in how you can style them with other earrings and other necklaces and other jewelry pieces, and it's still going to be really, really classic. So with that said, my first don't, or thing that I would keep in mind as you're building your wardrobe and adding pearls to it, is to avoid dipping into things that are a little bit too classic or too played out. And when I think of classic versus kind of tired, the differentiating factor is that classic is something that you can't place. So you can find a photo from maybe the 40s, but it looks like you could still wear that today. So I know when I first started kind of getting into fashion, one of my favorite combinations in the entire world was pearl earrings, a silk scarf, and a button-down shirt. And as I started wearing that more and more, it started to feel a little bit too stuffy, just a tiny bit too restrictive in how I express myself naturally and kind of how I go through the world. So what I've done now is always pair it with something a little bit off kilter. So by switching it up a tiny bit, you end up with a lot more flexibility. And then because it's such a classic piece, you could always circle back and then pair it with some of those other items and do so in a way that feels fresh across multiple decades. So my next don't is don't overlook pearls just because you think you have this idea in your head that they don't suit you or that they're dated. Much like I mentioned in my earlier tips, it all comes down to how you're styling them. And pearls specifically, I think, suit everybody. It's just a matter of finding your perfect type of pearl. So maybe you don't really like pearl earrings. We'll kind of forget those for a second. You could go for a pearl necklace and do something that's maybe a little bit chunkier. And then another option is going for something really delicate. So it's just a hint of pearls and something that's maybe delicately stacked and it just glistens ever so slightly with a beautiful combination of dainty pearls. That's going to be really beautiful as well. And you can pair that with basically anything because it'll almost fade into the background, but still give just enough of that classic aesthetic, and something I recommend looking into. So my next do is to definitely consider pairing your pearl jewelry with other pearl accessories. Things like pearl sunglasses, maybe a pearl ring, a pearl bag. And this is such a fun way to really lean into that aesthetic and really kind of enhance that feeling of the pearl, but do it in a way that's a little quirky and slightly off kilter from what you typically expect. And much like I mentioned, doing that is such a great way to keep it feeling fresh and allow you to have a little bit of fun with something like that in your closet. So I really love the pearl bags that you're able to find right now, and doing that with a pair of pearl earrings is probably my personal favorite way to do this because it kind of repeats it, and I love that repetition throughout my outfit. It keeps it really cohesive, but again, it's still really fun and shows that you enjoy fashion but still have that classic undercurrent. And the last do that I want to talk about about is do layer up your pearls. So because we think of pearls as being really classic, that typically comes down to a single pair of earrings and a single necklace. And in order to change that up, try layering them. So you can stack your pearl studs, especially if you have multiple piercings, doing like a couple tiny little pearls. It's so beautiful, and it shows again just a little bit of a twist in how you're styling it, which really makes it feel fresh. And then also likewise with necklaces, layered pearl necklaces are always great, and doing that, especially if you've got maybe something with a chain detail again, and then layering that with another necklace underneath it, it's again just changing up those expected combinations and keeping it really relevant and allowing you to style that piece now and then fall back on those classic combinations if you choose to in a year or two. The optimum versatility with something timeless like this is why I love it so much. So I hope that these tips are helpful for you and they help you view pearls as something really versatile for your wardrobe and not something necessarily dated or stodgy, but rather a really beautiful timeless piece that you can have for a long time. So I'm going to link everything in the description box down below along with details on the discount code. And then as a reminder, if you would like to be entered for the giveaway, just leave me a comment with your favorite thing that's happened to you so far this year and I'll randomly choose a winner next week. And like always, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in my next one. Have a great day.